I mentioned before, this is related to our device home feature. We've seen a lot of customers with varying levels of complexity express the interest of, I want to make sure that my devices are in the right spot. I don't necessarily care if a device goes from the right side of a unit to the left side of a unit, or if it migrates within the same floor, but maybe I do care if it goes to a different floor, a different unit, if a different hub. All of that is completely customizable using our new device home. So first I'm going to show you here, when I click on this tile, once again, we see a list of a device list, which shows us anything with this filter pill enabled. So we see these two devices are in the wrong location. When I click into one of these devices, I can quickly see that it's supposed to live in its home, radiology. Where is it? Right now, it's in the emergency department. Okay, great news. We can easily see not only is it in the emergency department, but it's also in the East Nursing Station in port number 4. So if you choose and you want to manually remediate, you can actually task someone to go down to the ED, take the device in port number 4, and move it back to radiology. You could also choose to reallocate it to the ED and say, you know what, it makes more sense to be an ED now. I can change that. Great way of seeing where the devices have moved from. It turns out that people leaving radiology at the end of the day, it was easier for them to drop their device off at the emergency department because it was closest to the exit. So they put it in the wrong spot. And we need to know that so that we can make sure radiology has enough devices for the next shift. We can also see, we added in Ground Control 6.0 the ability to click right here on the device location and take you right to the launch pad. So you can actually see the device on its port number. You can see information about the device, and you can see in the launch pad view any devices that aren't in the right home, right? So this is the emergency department launch pad. This is a radiology device. You're not in the right spot. We can see, so for device home, the most important thing is determining what level of specificity you would like your devices. Do you care about devices living in the exact same launch pad? Or do you care only if devices migrate amongst the same department or unit? I'll show you here in the admin section of our console, we have a dashboard tab. All of the tiles that I previously showed can be turned on or off, depending on your location, your organization. And we see this device in wrong location is configurable. Here, I've set in this organization that the Launchpad department is what I would like to make sure my devices migrate with inside. So what that means is if a device with a department of radiology hits a Launchpad, we talked about those Launchpad attributes a little bit ago. If it hits a Launchpad as a radiology department Launchpad, it's in the right spot. But if I go up to a different department, such as the ED or anything else, I'm going to automatically be marked as a wrong location. But sometimes you might want to be more specific than that. You might say the Launchpad name. It has to match. I want to define each device has a Launchpad name, such as ED1, ED2, the name of the Launchpad it came from, and it has to go back into that specific Launchpad. I can choose that. I can say, hey, it's really important to me that it goes back in that exact Launchpad. Or maybe the inverse. Maybe I don't care at all. As long as I'm a multi-hospital organization and I only care if devices migrate to different buildings, for instance. Okay, that's a very high level, but we can say as long as the building, for the device is main, and you dock at a Launchpad that's for a Launchpad building main, you're going to be in the right spot. You move for a different building, you're going to automatically be counted against the wrong spot. So it's very customizable. Each organization is going to find the right specificity for themselves. We're pretty sure that this is going to be a huge benefit to organizations who are constantly hearing from department managers say, I don't have enough devices, or I have too many devices, and people are putting phones next to the docks because we ran out of spots. This is going to be a really great way to see that. As I mentioned earlier in the call too, we have the ability to automate off this too. So I'll make quickly an example automation rule to help us make sure a device gets back to where it's supposed to be. For those who aren't super familiar, this is our automation tab where you can define a large number of activities that can happen automatically when a device is, for instance, docked. So if I make a new automation rule and I say device in wrong location, and I'd say when the device is attached and the condition when the device home is not, let's say it's depart. We've chosen department as the level that we want. Okay, so when the device home, which is maybe radiology or emergency department or pharmacy or something like that, is not does not match the launchpad department of the launchpad that it's connecting to, go ahead and do something. Well, what do we want to do? Let's send an email alert. So this automation says whenever this device attaches to the wrong spot, go ahead and send an email alert. And so let's look at that email alert. What does that mean? So in this example, this is a workflow that says based on that automation rule, we're going to send an email to whether it's a single user, a distribution group, whatever you want, with the subject letting us know quickly that something's in the wrong spot. And then we can use variables to make the content of that message very applicable, for instance, to a frontline technician who may need to remediate that. Hey, device with the serial number 1234, and it's currently in emergency department in port number 4, is in the wrong spot. Please return it to radiology department. Okay, well, I don't really even need to make a ticket for that. I can just go physically find the device, move it back. Everyone's happy. It's a great way to make sure devices end up in the right spot. You can also, and some of our customers have chosen to do this, automate more powerful workflows, such as maybe locking the device down if it's in the wrong spot, putting a wallpaper up on the device that says, I'm in the wrong spot, please take me back. So you can kind of lean on your users instead of your technician to maybe do the right thing and say, oh yeah, I took this down to the emergency department. I really should walk it back up to radiology. You know what, I'm headed that way, I'll take it. And that's a really great way of utilizing automation to give everyone the information that they need.